Hey there and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to go over the best 50 tips and tricks for your new iPhone 13 Pro Max. So let's begin with the video now. So the first trick we're going to have in hand is going to be night mode changes. So all three camera lenses on this iPhone 13 Pro Max now support night mode. If you take a look back, before we couldn't take night mode shots with the telephoto lens, but now with this new model we can do and take advantage of night mode with the lens. All you have to do is just set up in whatever photography mode you want and just take a picture on night mode and you'll be all set. Then we're going to have the TELE lens. This lens has been upgraded since now it has 3 times optical zoom and 15 times digital zoom. We could go all the way to 15, dragging the bar right here as you can see. This is a very huge upgrade. We're also going to have the ultra wide macro photography. So this lens gained autofocus so we can take these macro shots. This means getting so close to an object and taking these amazing shots. Probably one of my favorite features so far, and it also works with the videos as well. Then we're going to have the ProMotion 120Hz display. This new iPhone comes with a 120 refresh rate and it can kill your battery. So if you want to save some battery, then head to settings, accessibility, motion, limit frame rate, and the screen can also refresh anywhere from 10 Hz to 120 Hz based on whatever you're doing on your phone. Let's say you're going very fast, your screen refresh rate will gonna go up to 120, and if you're going very slow it can go to the regular 60 Hz. Then we're going to have the cinematic mode. Basically the goal of cinematic mode is to make your iPhone 13 videos look more immersive and dynamic. And while the iPhone 13 can switch focus between subjects automatically, you can tap on subjects as you should to direct where you want the focus to be. You can also tweak this cinematic mode by just modifying the depth of field while you're editing. You just have to go over here on edit and you can change the local length and also turn off the cinematic mode and mute the video through the edit window. Next up, iPhone 13 Pro Max exclusive wallpapers. So for this one, you just want to go to settings, wallpaper, and then live. You're going to see this exclusive live wallpapers for the 13 Pro Max model, and then we're going to have battery health. You want to check this the first 30 days because if it isn't at 100%, it means they might have given you an old or used battery. For this, just go to settings, then you're going to head to battery and then battery health. Right here you can see the percentage of your phone, and be aware that this won't always stay at 100%. Next up, we're going to have dark mode, and to activate this simply just go to settings, you're going to head to display, and over here in display you can just select dark mode. Now we can also customize the auto lock. If we get to settings, display, and then brightness and auto lock, we can see all this amount of options where we can set up the auto lock, whether it's 10 seconds, 30 seconds, and you go from there. You can also turn off the automatic brightness. So if you don't like how Apple adjusts your brightness, then you can just modify this and manually adjust the brightness on your own. We can also set the camera to 4K, and for this trick we're just going to go to the settings, camera, record video, and from here we can select if we want 4K at 24 or 30 frames per second. And you can do the same for the slow motion videos as well. You can set your color filter through the camera, and this is a brand new feature. Just go to the top right corner and you're going to see the stacked layers icon, and there you can set how you want your photos to look. If you can't find your stacked layers over here on the top, you can always press the arrow and you're going to see the option right here at the bottom. You can also customize your aspect ratio, and for this one you just have to go to your camera, go to the arrow, and this icon right here will allow you to customize the aspect ratio. You can also customize the control center, and for this one we just want to go to settings, then we head to control center, and then we add or take off whatever we want. On place number 16, we're going to have set lossless audio. So settings, this is going to be where we're going to start, then we're going to head to music, audio, and then lossless audio. This will be off by default, so make sure you turn it on. We can also go to restore full screen call notifications. One recent change to iOS in the way that iPhone and FaceTime calls show up while you're using your device. Previously, that used to take over the entire display, but now on iOS 15, they default to banner notifications just as when you get a text or email, and that means they don't disrupt what you're doing, but they can also be easier to miss or dismiss accidentally. If you long for the old style, never fear. Just open Settings, go to the Phone section, tap Incoming Calls, and choose Full Screen. You can also change it in Settings, FaceTime, Incoming Calls, but changing it in one place automatically changes it on the other as well. You can also enable spatial audio, and the perfect accompaniment for fancy video is, of course, fancy audio. If you got a pair of Apple AirPods Pro or new AirPods Max, you can pair them with your iPhone 13 and get the new spatial audio feature. To enable spatial audio, you will need your AirPods paired with your iPhone. Then go to Settings, Bluetooth, and tap the I button next to your headphones. You're going to scroll down and tap Spatial Audio. You will even have the opportunity to try it out right here, and after all, as they say, hearing is believing. Then we're going to have Video HDR. So speaking of fancy new image formats, while video can't take advantage of Apple's new ProRAW format, it gets its own boost on the iPhone 13 with the addition of HDR. High dynamic range has been around in photos for a while, but the iPhone 13 lineup marks the first time this capability is available in videos in the form of a very fancy Dolby Vision HDR standard, which enhances the color and the contrast. To enable this feature on your iPhone 13, just go to Settings, go to Camera, Record Video, and make sure HDR video is enabled. Now your videos can rival those of professional filmmakers. Now we have a very simple one, which is take a screenshot. Simply press volume up and then the side button. Also, if your phone is stuck in a page, you can always force restart, and all you have to do is press volume up, volume down, and then hold the side button until the screen goes completely black. You can also use the Wallet app to open your hotel room or house, so companies that make HomeKit compatible locks can add support for a wallet-based house key that can be used to tap to unlock HomeKit door locks. Home keys will be available in the Wallet app and can be accessed on iPhone and Apple Watch. Participating hotels that use digital keys can allow customers to add those keys to the Wallet app after making a reservation, allowing them to bypass the lobby. Next up, use Siri offline. So did you ever trigger Siri on your iPhone and got disappointed after being told that you must connect to the internet to perform certain tasks? Bother not, you're not alone. To have felt dejected for being unable to use Siri offline on your iPhone to perform common and repetitive tasks. No longer, finally, it's possible to use offline Siri on iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro. Next up, we're going to have the identifying of animals, items, and plants in photos. Your iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro can now identify and tell you more information about an animal, a landmark, a plant, or an object, such as a book. An icon is available on top of photos in your gallery, and with a tap, it can identify a pet's dog breed and show you more information. For example, or it can name a flower with some background on the plant, and the feature is very similar to the one that's available on Android phones called Google Lens. Now you can also stop apps from tracking you, and lots of apps want to track various patterns and usage data from you while you use their apps. In most instances, it's so they can serve you a more relevant advertisements or get to know how people use their software to help them improve it. However, there is a good reason to block all tracking, especially if that company has a reputation for not respecting your right to privacy. If you want to block apps from tracking, just open Settings, Privacy, and now tap Tracking. Right at the top there is a toggle that says Allow apps to request to track. If you don't want any apps to request tracking information, just toggle this off, or alternatively, you can manually toggle tracking on or off for apps individually in the list below. Next up, we're going to have reachability. And back in the day when iPhone had buttons, you could bring stuff down from the top of the screen to make them easier to reach by lightly double tapping on the home button. And you can actually do it on the new iPhones without buttons too, but you have to activate it first. For this, you just have to go to Settings, Accessibility, and tap Touch. Toggle on the reachability option, and now when you swipe down, at the bottom of the screen, it drops the stuff from the top of the screen further down, making it easier to reach. Now we're going to have trackpad keyboard, and last, this is an old favorite but is a must. If you want to precisely move your cursor when typing, you can turn your keyboard into a trackpad by just long pressing the spacebar and then swiping your thumb around. Now place the cursor on the screen in the exact place you want it to go. You can also set up focus modes, and focus, it's sort of like Apple's take on the good old AI aim away message, but for the modern era. In short, this iOS trick enables you to set up several profiles for different scenarios that give you more control over how you interact with your iPhone. You can set up focus profiles by heading to Settings and Focus. You'll find preset modes for generic Do Not Disturb along with Sleep, Personal, and Work, with the latter two ready to be set up. Tap on either and follow the on-screen instructions to customize the focus mode, and once complete you can activate it via the control center. Focus profiles are extremely customizable, so you can really go ham experimenting on what works best for you. You can also schedule your notifications, and some notifications are necessary but most aren't. Still, some you want to know about an Uber or Postmates discount code, just not whenever it is the app decides to bug you. The nice thing about iOS 15 is that you can now bundle that not so important notifications and schedule them to show up at a time of your choosing. To set it up, just head to Settings, Notifications, Schedule Summary, and toggle it on. You'll then be prompted to set up the system, the add-in apps you'll like to contribute to Notification Summary, and set the time you'll like to appear. Then we're going to have Use Tap Groups in Safari. We are not in love with some of the new changes to Safari, but however, Tap Groups is pretty awesome. People usually have like 100 tabs open in Safari on their phone at any given time, so organizing them is a lifesaver. All you have to do is hit the Pages button in the search bar, which is now confusingly at the bottom of the Safari app, and from there you'll get the option to group your tabs open into a category. Easy peasy. Next up, we're going to have FaceTime Android and Windows users. So this new trick lets you enable anyone, even if they don't have an Apple device, to join a FaceTime call with you by creating a link to a FaceTime conversation that can be shared anywhere. Start the FaceTime app on your iPhone, tap on Create Link, and give your FaceTime link an identifiable name by tapping Add Name at the top of the Action menu that appears. Select a method of your sharing link from Actions menu, for example, Messages or Email, and once you've sent the link and the recipient opens it, they'll be directed to a web page where they can enter their name to join the conversation. Once they've joined the call, they'll have the usual FaceTime options to mute their microphone, disable video, and switch to camera view and leave the call. You can also use the portrait video and audio effects on third-party apps. So the new FaceTime Portrait Video feature in iOS 15 isn't actually exclusive to FaceTime. It can also be used to create a blur in video calls conducted via other apps like Zoom or Snapchat. To use it, start recording a video or audio in an app, and with the video being recorded, swipe down from the top right corner of your screen to open Control Center. Touch Video Effects and then select the effect and then Mic Mode for the effect. Then we're going to have Remove Home Screen Pages, and with iOS 14, Apple offers an option to hide home screen pages on the iPhone, but with iOS 15, you can now remove home screen pages entirely from the default interface. To remove home page on iOS 15, long press on an empty screen on the home screen, and select the dot menu above the dock. First, disable the home screen page that you want to hide and tap the negative icon at the upper left corner to remove the screen page. You can also organize your notes. If you're a heavy notes user, then you'll be happy to try this trick, since you can now use hashtags to more conveniently start and categorize your random brain dumps. If you're someone who uses shared notes, you can also add other users and view edit history in a new activity section. You can also hide IP address from all websites, and this new iPhone lets you hide IP address from both third-party trackers and websites. Start the Settings app on your iPhone and head to Safari, Privacy and Security, and then hide IP address and select trackers and websites. You can also use your iPhone's camera to scan any text, and this new trick lets you pull any text from pictures you can take or have saved on your iPhone, and once you've pulled the text, you can paste it into any text field. It's great for quickly sharing addresses, iPhone numbers, and anything else you don't want to type out manually. To use the iPhone's new scan feature, long press inside the text field as you are going to use the copy and paste prompt. Only you will see the scan text button. You may also see a button that uses just a scan icon, which looks like a piece of paper with brackets around it. Tap the button, which will then replace your keyboard with your iPhone camera's viewfinder. Point your camera at whatever you want to scan and then follow the prompts on the screen. For instance, if you're moving the camera too fast, you will see a slow down message flash on the screen. You can also move Safari's address back to the top of your screen, and Apple made a considerable huge change to its mobile Safari on iPhone running iOS 15 or above. The URL address bar, which is on previous iPhone, always stay afloat on top, now shifted to the bottom of the screen. While personally I do think it's a good move, mainly because now it's easier for people to reach out the URL address bar without the need to stretch their thumb. When using Safari on your iPhone, tap the AA button on the address bar, and at the top of the menu that shows, you'll see a new option labeled Show Top Address Bar. Tap it to move the address bar up top. You can also get real-time precipitation alerts from the iPhone's weather app. Another trick is that you can see the real-time snow and rain alerts in Weather app. You can turn on the new precipitation alerts by opening the Weather app, then tapping the 3-line icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. Next, tap the circle icon with the 3 dots in the top right corner of the screen followed by notifications. Slide the switch next to My Location to the on position and then tap Done. If you have more cities added to the Weather app, you can also turn on alerts for each one. Now you can also drag and drop between apps, and then with nifty drag and drop gestures, moving files from one place to another feels ever so smooth. Simply pick up the files you wish to move across the apps and then drop them all at the desired destination and you're good to go. So basically, you just have to start on the Photos app, for example, and view your recent photos. Don't tap on a picture to open it full screen. Instead, just place a finger on the photo and start to drag your finger across the screen. Don't lift your finger when the thumbnail starts to float over the rest of the photos, and then switch back to whatever app you want to send it. You will see a green circle with a plus sign in it showing up on the thumbnail, indicating that you can lift your finger and the photo will be placed in the text field ready for you to send. You can also get more information about your photos. For example, we've always used a third-party app if we wanted to view any other finer details stored in the EXIF data about a photo I was sent or took myself. Now whenever you're viewing a photo in the Photos app, you can swipe up on it and open an information view that will detail where you saved the photos from. You can also change your iPhone's text size for a specific app, and this is one of the best hidden tricks, which is the ability to adjust accessibility settings on per app basis. So you can, for example, keep the text small for your email but make it a bit larger in Twitter. To use the new feature, open the Settings app, go to Control Center, and scroll down until you find the option labeled Text Size by tapping the green plus sign. The next time you're in an app you want to adjust the size, just open the Control Center, get the text option, and then right here at the bottom you're going to see the bar that you can go to the left or right with the size. You can also set background sounds on your iPhone. So background sounds is similar to a third-party noise generator app but backed into accessibility settings. You get 6 sounds of options, and then for this you just have to go to Settings, Accessibility, Audio and Visual, and then Background Sounds. From here you can tap the toggle at the top to turn on the sound, set volume, and more. You can also watch movies and TV shows together using FaceTime. Both parties need to be using FaceTime on an Apple device that supports iOS 15, iPadOS 15, or macOS Monterey for SharePlay to work. SharePlay is not compatible with the browser version of FaceTime available to non-Apple device users. Start the FaceTime app on your iPhone and then initiate a call. When the call has connected, tap the SharePlay button at the top right corner of the screen in the new control panel. Tap Share My Screen in the drop-down, and after a 3-second countdown, screen sharing will initialize, and now you can navigate to a TV app or another streaming app and select something to watch. Then press play, select SharePlay when the prompt asks you if you want to share play content. You can also track your iPhone with Find My even if it's turned off. Find My is a great way to keep track of a potentially lost device, but if someone stole your iPhone, all they have to do is power it down to disable tracking. Find My show your device's last location, if enabled that in settings, but that's not much help. With this new trick, an iPhone that has been turned off will actually enter in an ultra-low power state that keeps the Bluetooth beacon active, effectively turning your iPhone into an AirTag, and you will see a little iPhone findable after power off. Notice under the slide to power interface as well. You can also keep the night mode off, and for the most part, night mode in the camera app, This can be absolutely great for transforming photos taken at very low light. But if the camera app detects a dark scene, night mode is enabled automatically, and sometimes you actually want that dramatic effect. So it's annoying to disable night mode to get it, and you have to tap the night mode indicator and then slide the timer down to 0. But with iOS 15 you can head to settings, camera, and preserve settings to find an option to preserve your night mode settings among other things. With this enabled, night mode will remember when it has been turned off and won't re-enable itself. If you want to take a night mode shot, you can manually tap the night mode indicator and enable it yourself. You can also adjust playback video speed, and apps like YouTube have had variable speed playbacks for some time now, but the default iPhone video player has not. On this new iPhone, the default player has playback speed controls. When playing back a video, tap the overflow menu in the lower right. You're going to see the 3 dots, and you'll be able to select them from up to 5 different playback speeds. You can also share things with Siri, and with this iOS 15 trick, you can finally just ask Siri to send something by saying the "Hey Siri" and share this with whoever you want it to share. This will share the content on the screen to that person using messages, items like images, web pages, and whatever she cannot send. You'll send it on and automatically a screenshot to that person. You can also translate anywhere, and now you can translate text just about anywhere in almost any app. You just have to tap and hold back in a block of text as if you were to copy or paste, and you will notice a little pop-up menu has a new translate option. In some apps, you may have to hit the right arrow and see more options. You can also keep an eye on app activity, and Apple is always expanding privacy features. And with this iOS 15 trick, you have a powerful new tool to find out which apps are accessing your iPhone's feature and data. You just have to start the settings app and then privacy, scroll down to the bottom to record app activity. You'll have to enable this at the top of the screen, and this will record a 7-day summary of exactly when and how often all your apps access things like your microphone or a camera or which web domains they visit. Just come back to the screen a week later for a full report. You can also use Spotlight from the lock screen, and Spotlight Search is the tool you get when you swipe down on the screen to search your iPhone. iOS 15 adds another way to access Spotlight Search to another extremely convenient area, which is the lock screen. To use this iOS 15 trick, simply swipe down on the lock screen to pull down Spotlight Search. Your iPhone doesn't even need to be unlocked first, so you can use this feature whether you're holding your phone up or flat down on a desk. However, if you do decide to tap on something, you will need to unlock your iPhone to continue. Alright everyone, so that was it for today's video. If you got some valuable information out of it, please don't forget to give it a like, and also leave a comment down below on what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to receive notifications every time we post a new video. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next one.